and Sunshine Coast Mayor Rosanna Natoli and journalist Justin Smith. Morning to you both. OK, Justin, look, we've seen the polls now for weeks that say if an election was held, One Nation would have a lot of support. But this is cold, hard cash.
Yes.
People are putting their money where their mouth is. Concrete evidence. Do you think that One Nation truly does have a new wave of support and is a force to be reckoned with?
Oh, absolutely. And if the major parties aren't incredibly worried, I mean, they should have been worried before because of what's been coming, and not just because of One Nation either, but because of the rise of independence that we have seen coming along. But I mean, the parties really only have themselves to blame. I mean, the two-party system split down the middle, look what it has given us in the last few decades. You know, it's not a pretty picture. I mean, Mon, you've interviewed a lot of politicians over the years. I mean, you know the sort of things that we've been listening to. And I mean, look at the last election. We had one side who was serving up a major policy like nuclear power, yet couldn't give us the detail, so they roundly lost. We had another side who had plenty of detail about policy and then won the election and backflipped on it. So people notice those things and they're getting very tired of it. So they run to something else. But I think with the independence and with One Nation, I think the key is that we've got to test them out too. We've got to ask them for the detail. You know, don't just stand up and be anti, big parties. You've got to have an answer as well. We've got to ask those questions.
Interesting you bring that up, Justin, because yesterday we saw the Prime Minister who, and everything old is new again, he was out with the Medicare card that we saw so much during the campaign, which we haven't seen, and he's saying, look, we're here with Medicare, we're here with education, what's One Nation doing? So it seems as if we're going to hear a lot of this, Rosanna, through the coming months, where this is how the government looks like they're going to try and tackle One Nation.
Yeah, and I think that probably if you look at donations over a 24-hour period, it's a sign of frustration of a vast number of Australians feeling like they're not being heard. And we know that when it comes to any political party, and whether you're in Canberra, Brisbane or a regional area like the Sunshine Coast, people want to know that they can actually trust their leaders. So they want honesty, they want action, so they need to know that there's detail in the policy, and then they want to actually feel like they're being heard. And that basically says that the best currency for politics is actually trust. And this is just another reminder of that.
OK, moving on now. And should students be forced to sing the Australian National Anthem at school? The New South Wales National Party are debating it after the Northern Territory government made it mandatory. Justin, the question here is, should the second verse be mandatory? Because a lot of schools are already doing this, but we all just know the first verse.
Well, okay, let's hear it. Everyone, come on, let's hear it. No, I'm not a big fan of the song anyway, just from a musical point of view. But forcing people, what do the National think they're doing? Forcing people into standing up and doing the national anthem once a week. I don't know what happened to this country. We used to be really good at patriotism, because we weren't over the top. We didn't go all American on it, yet we still loved the country. And now it's become this kind of divide, and I'm more Australian than you are, and I just don't know what happened. It's a silly idea.
It's interesting that this looks like a way of trying to unite people, Rosanna, and that's what the Northern Territory government is saying. They're going to bring back pride. Are kids going to get this by just singing the national anthem?
Well, I do think that we need to have a country that people, and young people in particular, want to be proud of. So that's the first step. But I think that singing the national anthem, because, whether it's at the start of the footy or when we are at the Paralympic or Olympic Games, we want to be able to sing the national anthem, to know all the words. So I think it's a good idea, and I think it should be played by the recorder band, because that's how I did it when I was at school, played the recorder, the
really
national anthem, and everyone knew the words.
Really hammer it home into something awful.
All feel a whole lot of pride if it's sung with a recorder. Love it. I want to see the vision of that, Rosanna. OK, now finally, there's a post that's going viral. It's titled, "What's the most attractive thing that a man has done unintentionally?" Now, it doesn't have to be a man, of course, but the author writes, "I was at work and a colleague asked me how my birthday was. I don't know why, but it was so hot. Literally, no one else remembered. The fact that he just remembered it was really attractive to me." Now, Justin, you turn up here...
What are you starting with me for?
You turn up here every week, looking dapper with your pockets square, your silver fox looks. Maybe you don't need to do any of that. You just need to do something unintentional.
No, nothing. Mon, when's your birthday? As an aside?
You missed it.
When's your birthday, Mon? I just called my wife before and I said, look, I asked her this question, what's something that I do? And apart from giving her a shout out on national television, morning darling, is whenever I do something she knows I hate, and apparently I said, well, can you give me an example? Apparently it's gardening, and that's true. Anything in the garden, mowing lawns, picking up stuff in there, I hate. So if she ever sees me do it, apparently I'm unbelievably attractive when that happens.
That is so true. Rosanna, do you agree with that? Nothing is more attractive than a bloke doing the washing up.
I think it's when you do something kind when nobody's actually watching. And so this happened to me in the shopping centre just recently. Arms full, I dropped something and someone stopped to pick it up and hand it back to me. And, you know, it is a cliche. It's like every movie, you know, where the woman drops something, the guy picks it up, their eyes lock and the rest is history. Well, I think it is that. So there you go. I think it's doing something kind.
Yes, I like that. Nice. And Justin, if your wife is watching and you just blew her a kiss on national TV, super gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well done.
Justin wins again.
Still, go home and garden. Rosanna and Justin, great to see you both.
See you.
Have a great day.
See you, Mike.
Bye-bye.